Hey, I'm Butterfly.
Hey, I'm Firefly.
Have you ever wondered if we aren't being told the truth about everything?
What have we been lied to about? Join us as we have conversations and ask questions about everything. We invite you to keep an open mind and consider the unfathomable.
Let's break the chains that enslave our minds. Come on, let's go down the rabbit hole.
What's up, Butterfly?
Hey, Firefly, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
I'm so excited. We're doing another episode.
I know.
Today, we're going to talk about globalism.
Oh.
Yeah. It's kind of gross, just the name.
It kind of sounds like a growth or something.
Yeah.
I mean, like
He
you've
suffers
got
from
globalism.
you suffer from acute globalism, I'm afraid.
Oh
And
no.
what do I do?
What's the cure?
It's decentralization, I'm afraid. But it's like, it's such a weird word. It almost is like they have all these isms. Have you ever noticed like isms are never good?
No.
It's like communism,
Yeah.
fascism,
Marxism.
yes.
Mhm.
If it's an ism, I don't want it.
No.
You know,
It's like a disease.
globalism. Yeah, it is. It's like we live under this like acute condition of globalism. But it's weird because the world is becoming that. And if you think about the United States and our forefathers, they intentionally created this country to not have centralized power.
Right.
They have checks and balances. Just in the federal government itself, there's the executive branch, there's the um, judicial branch, and then there's the legislative branch. Thank you. I'm like, dude, I got really stoned in that class. Yeah. Oh my God, I need to stop. But anyways, that was one way of making it so that one branch of the government wasn't so powerful. But then even out of the federal government, you get into like the states, and then the states have powers. But then even the states kind of have county powers, and then the counties have city powers.
Well, and our forefathers who wrote the Constitution were very clever and smart the way they wrote it, so that they made it so that people couldn't bypass like different levels of power and try to skip around things, So it seems like things were planned out really well to be successful in the long run.
Which it was.
They were looking like way ahead, way down the road.
And look at how America is. I mean, not now. Now it sucks. Now I look at America as kind of like a dead horse being kicked.
Oh.
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
I feel like that. Maybe that's a little bit of a black pill.
We could find a good vet.
Yeah, exactly. It could be revived. You're right. But I think it's kind of, at least right now, it's kind of like on life support. Right.
Yeah.
But I think if you go back to like the 1960s and the 1950s, America was functioning the way it was supposed to, with a strong middle class, and everybody was like informed and healthy and was able to like make a living.
People could, usually it was most likely just one person working. The father, the man of the household was working. They could have a nice house, a car, maybe 2 cars. The kids were going to school. And probably public school, but they weren't really being like completely brainwashed like they are in public schools now.
They were actually getting a good education.
They were getting a good education.
America was far and away the best school system in the world.
Yeah. And they could do that comfortably on one income.
Totally.
Whereas now, I mean, seriously, I don't know how people make it. I mean,
I know.
Especially in California.
Well, that's why when you come into town on a train, there's like homeless dudes everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's like people falling through the cracks.
It's like, how do people, an average house in California is like, I don't think you can even get
$850,000.
Yeah, you can't get anything for under $500,000. And that's like the bare.
And if you're gonna pay $500,000, you're gonna probably live in like Barstow or something like that.
Yeah,
and it's gonna be windy and hot.
Yeah, and
all the time.
You're gonna have to drive like an hour and a half to get to work.
To get anywhere. And it's like, but if you want to live in a place that's like nice, like by the beach or centrally located,
you're going to
you're
pay
going to pay $1 million
mm-hmm.
at least.
At least.
And it's like, that is unrealistic.
How do you afford that? Like, the house payment, the car payments, and then you got a couple of kids, and
you got to be having at least 250, 300 grand coming in.
Exactly.
And who's making that except like big time cult members at the top of their companies?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The people who are like not only drinking the Kool-Aid, but serving the Kool-Aid.
Serving the Kool-Aid.
So but now that even America, that whole decentralized thing is breaking down, and you notice it started with like FEMA regions. Remember those? It was like, what FEMA region? Remember Alex Jones used to say, reporting from FEMA region 10. It was almost like he was planting the seed, and I'm starting to think he's in the cult, so maybe he was planting the seed.
I think we're going to have a whole deep dive, couple episodes about him eventually. But I think he probably originally was not in the cult. This is my viewpoint. But I think he's fallen like off the cliff, and he's sort of in the cult now.
I think so too.
Yeah.
He looks different.
Yeah.
Have you seen him lately?
And he acts different.
But I digress. We can talk about that more often. But the reason I bring it up is because he would start bringing up FEMA regions.
Yeah.
And then, so now there's FEMA regions. And then now there's like the North American corridor, and it's like this disillusion of, and even the Trump cult kind of talks about this. It's like, we don't really need to have Mexico and Canada anymore. We can just have
Greenland.
We don't. Greenland is part of us. We'll just take them over.
We're going to take all of them in. We'll be one big happy family.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know, this whole like subsuming of regions, it's kind of moving us towards like having one boss for the whole world.
Right.
And we all are subject to that one boss.
Yeah, and maybe some people don't see a problem with that because they're like, oh, yeah, open the borders, let everybody in. But there's something to be said for keeping your culture and keeping your country, and if they want to just turn like Greenland, Canada, the US and Mexico into one continent or whatever. It won't be a country, it will just be a continent. I heard that basically the plan is they're going to do that, and then they're going to have one for the EU and then one for like China and the Asian areas. So there's going to be 3 main world continents, and then I guess all the third world stuff, they'll just be like, yeah, whatever, we don't really need them, just kick them
They've
aside.
Always been an afterthought. That's where let's just check in with Bill Gates, and he's down there like giving some Ugandan baby a shot, like
they'll be like fighting over like, oh wait, who gets Jamaica?
Yeah,
who gets the Bahamas? We want that one.
Totally. But there's humans living there, we'll exterminate them. I like the land.
I like the weather.
That's how they totally look at the world. But totally, there's like this movement towards, there's no longer a Greenland. Like if I move to Greenland, I should want to become like a Greenlandian.
Right.
I should want to know. Yes, a Greenlander. I'm a Greenlander now. I've moved here. I love the culture.
Yeah.
I eat Greenlandian food. I speak Greenlandian, but no, it's not like that. Now it's like everybody just kind of spills their blech into everywhere.
Yeah.
And it's like we just kind of absorb everything into this big, Western
melting pot.
Yeah. Western civilization has become this big blech. Mm-hmm. And now it's like they want to just take Western civilization, turn it into globalism, and just have it subsume the entire world.
So why do you think they want to do that?
Well, I think, and I'm not trying to preach to anybody, but I think what's going on is they have a centralized bank in Geneva, Switzerland, called the Bank of International Settlements.
Swiss bank accounts.
Yeah. And I think that all these families and cults like the Vatican and the groups of people that are from a country that started in 1948 and some other groups that are hidden. They're hidden. They're behind the scenes. You never see them on Fox News or anything.
Yeah.
These groups are holding all the money. And I think that they're kind of controlling the world at this point. And so they've decided it's more convenient and it's more fastidious for them to just not have countries anymore. You know,
it's tidier.
It's tidier. And I think that was what George Washington and Thomas Jefferson were like trying to get away from. Because England, England was dicks. Have you ever noticed like England was like total dicks?
Snooty monarchs.
Assholes. Like back in the day, I watched this video recently and it was about the Prince of Wales. And I think it was like back in like the 1800s or something. And I'm not a historian, but anyways, he had the temerity, the insolence to call himself the Prince of Wales. And that meant that they were not vassal state of England, you know? Because England was pretty much like, no, that's ours. Like everything. You know what I'm saying? Like they come over and discover a new land and they go, this is ours now. And I don't know, maybe the guys who started our country were like, no, fuck you. We're not you. We're us. And that was cool. And they set it up so that there couldn't be one central power over everything.
Yeah.
Because
like a dictator.
Yeah. Because I think they kind of saw that back in the 1600s. They were like, England was trying to basically rule the world back then. They were like, this is ours. And people were like, we had to fight a war in order to make it so that we had independence. And I think that maybe we're kind of giving our independence away now to globalism.
Well, it sounds like we're going backward.
Yeah.
Like we're going to end up having what we got away from in the first place.
Like we want feudalism.
Yeah.
Like neo-feudalism sounds great.
Do you think it's like history's going to repeat itself because people didn't learn the first time?
We're heading into Dark Ages 2.0. Could be. And maybe that's kind of like why I don't feel like we have all the technology that we had before. No. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we're going backwards in technology. Like you look at how killer the buildings were from the 1700s, or go look at the Sistine Chapel or something like that.
They built all of that with horse and buggy.
That's what we're told.
That's what we're told.
Right.
Well, they did lose the technology that they had for getting to the moon, and that's why we've never been back.
Well, dude, that guy was talking on a phone like my mom's from the kitchen with a wire, and he's talking to the dude on the moon. And it's how did that work?
But they lost the technology to actually get back there, even though we all have little computers in our hands now.
Exactly.
But we won't go rehash that whole thing.
Elon is just I can't get there. It's well, why not? Why can't you just copy Buzz Aldrin?
They did it in 1969.
Yeah.
But they can't do it now.
No, something weird going on there. But we'll talk about that. We have other episodes that we've talked. Oh, well, we already talked about the flat Earth, right?
But we're going to talk about the moon too.
I think that needs to be talked about.
We need to go into that a little bit deeper, I think.
Yeah, like the dude hitting the 6-iron is really, I don't know about that.
And the pictures. Who was taking all those pictures?
Yeah. And what a sacrifice he made. He was just
I'll be the camera guy.
I'll be the camera guy. I know I won't be famous. I'll just be the one that takes it. And then, it was really weird. But that kind of whole thing plays into it too, because it's why are they kind of moving us into this globalization? I think what's going on now is they're setting up, and I think Trump and Elon are totally on board with this. They're setting up this global social credit score system where you don't get to buy food if you step out of line. And it's everyone on Earth, right?
It's going to be complete control.
Yeah.
Total
And I think what they probably are going to do with third world people is just mass culling down there.
Gates will go down with some more shots.
Yeah. He'll just be here.
I have the new polio shot.
Oh my God. Why would anybody trust that guy? Apparently when he goes down there, they already loathe him.
Yeah.
But he's but I have money, so you have to do it. But I think that's what's going on right now with globalism. I think it's all run by central banks.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what they found out is that through money, you can pretty much control the world. And how can you control the world through money? With a social credit score system.
Right.
Where you just say, okay, no. You can think whatever you want. You're free. But you can't eat if you say that.
Yeah. You can't eat if you think that.
Yeah. If you think that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thought police are coming.
Totally.
And they're watching you.
Yeah. It's like
because
pre-crime.
it's going to be like complete surveillance everywhere.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Like kind of like in 1984. Remember in 1984, that was weird too. They have like two big regions that are at war. It's like Europa versus Asiana.
Yeah.
And it was like, they're not countries. They're these big swaths.
Yeah.
And they're at war with each other.
Well, isn't that kind of what we're sort of describing now? Like, if that's what they want to do and have us be one continent and have like the Asian continent and then the European Union, it's kind of like 1984.
And then what happened in 1984 with the 2 minutes hate? It was like everything was a false narrative that there was a war going on, and they would train you to hate these other people.
And was there even really a war?
Yeah.
They didn't even, they didn't
what
even
you
really
assume
know.
Is no, there was no war. It was all the 2 minutes hate. It was all getting you to hate this because they wanted you to have that feeling. Because that's interesting. Because why? Why do they need to have you thinking there's a war and have you hate somebody? It's because you need to have this understanding that Big Brother is protecting you from the bad guys.
Yeah.
And without him, you're done.
Yeah.
The bad guys are going to get you.
So you'll be obedient.
That's another Alex Jones thing. He'll come out and he'll be like, you know what? Me and Trump are standing in the way. They're coming for you. Thank God we're here. It's like, oh, dude,
we're the big bullies. We're going to protect you.
I know. I don't want to talk about him anymore because we're going to have to do a whole episode because I have a lot to say about him. But I think that might be what's going on. They want us afraid, thinking we need Big Brother, And that was the vaccine too. It was like, oh, yeah. Remember they had that sticker and it was like, shoot me up harder, Daddy. Remember? Yeah. Or something like that.
Yeah.
And it was like, oh, Daddy, government, what if I would get sick from COVID if it wasn't for you?
Yeah.
Please give me my shot because otherwise this disease that kills 0.0000002% of people with already pre-existing conditions over 80 is going to get me.
Kind of like the flu.
Yeah, kind of like the flu. And
but not.
And then what was interesting is like, oh, but just the exact amount of people that died from COVID didn't die from the flu this year.
Right.
So like every year there's like this many thousand people that die from the flu. But during COVID, it was
nobody had the flu.
No one died of the flu. Yeah. But COVID deaths were there to take the place, which is nothing to see here. No. But I think that's part of it. It's like they want you afraid, feeling like you need Big Brother to protect you from the big bad guys.
Yeah. And it's amazing to me how many people actually go along with that because I think a lot of people don't really want to have to make their own decisions.
No.
I think they want to be told what to do.
Yeah.
And
it's easier.
They want somebody to take care of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think so.
Daddy government,
I think so. I think that like especially like younger people these days, if you said, you know what, you just get a coffin apartment and you get some VR goggles and we'll take care of your food and we'll take care of your bills. You don't
Universal basic income.
You'll
get a check once a month.
Yeah. And like every once in a while you can go walk around your 15-minute city and you're cool. And I think they're like, that sounds great.
Yeah. We'll put some fake trees up and spray paint some grass. And
yeah. You can't have a dog because they're carbon beings. We don't want carbon. But, and that's the other thing. It's like getting you afraid of carbon. Maybe that's what global warming is. Global warming is the new war. The war in 1984 is against the evil baddies. But now it's the war against carbon. We're bad. We're the baddies. And we need to be afraid. Thank you for Big Daddy to be fixing the climate for us.
Yeah. So they'll burn down these cities and wipe down this stuff. Makes me think about that song. We paved paradise to put up a parking lot. Who sings that? Paradise to put up a parking lot. I mean, it's so accurate.
Is that the Eagles?
No. It's I'll think of it. But anyway, that's kind of like what they're doing. You know what I mean? Like just like getting rid of beautiful places and then building these just monstrosities. you know?
That's like Zuckerberg. I was watching something and he's got like some huge compound in Kauai.
Oh.
And Kauai is like full of natural resources.
Yeah.
And he's like, I can survive here for a long time. And it's like, well, so you have no concern for any of your brothers and sisters here in humanity.
Right.
Like
Because he's got his underground bunker there and everything else.
And I think that's kind of the mentality. It's kind of like, well, I'm okay. I don't know about you.
Joni Mitchell, it's called Big Yellow Taxi.
Okay.
They paved paradise and put up a parking lot.
Yeah. And you know what? That's what's happened in California. Happening. California, it's so sad to look at what happened because it was paradise and now it's like one big mall. It's like all there is in California now, if you drive up the coast, it's like nail salons and Dollar Trees and Lowe's.
That's probably what's going to happen in Maui and all of those places
they're going to make
that
malls.
got burned down. They're going to
Lahaina, which was a cool little town, is going to be like an apartment complex with a mall.
Yeah, well, this is what Trump is talking about doing in Gaza. Yeah. Did you hear about that?
We're taking over
Trump Gaza.
Yeah.
And Trump Gaza.
I like his idea too.
It's going to be so fantastic, though.
Yeah.
He's going to make it beautiful. He's going to make it like this whole new place.
And we just have the right to do that.
People don't see a problem with that?
No. Well, the Trump cult is all down.
Yeah.
They're just like, they don't have any qualms about his 3-hour meeting with Bill Gates. They don't have any qualms about him meeting with Larry Ellison. They don't have any qualms about him, cozying up with Elon. I mean, cozy. And now let's not forget that Elon is the one who is like, well, we're going to drill out part of your skull, and then we're going to put electrodes.
It's okay. You won't really feel it.
It's not going to hurt. It's not going to hurt. But now we got electrodes in your brain, and then now you can just be like connected
to the
cloud. And we're going to have actual like physical like clouds that you'll like tap into. And I'm like, dude, that sounds so awesome.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
I know. It's something I want.
You know what I'm saying? Like when I'm going to bed at night and now I've got Elon like influence in my brain, whether I want it or not, you know? Oh my God. But see, I think that's part of it. I think that's part of globalism. I think if you look at why globalism, because America is like anti-globalism.
Right.
And how do we live? We want to have like big yard, some air conditioning, a dog. We like eating meat, and we drive our cars. And sometimes we go take road trips. You know what I'm saying? And we have air conditioning.
Yeah.
And they're like, no.
Not everybody should have air conditioning. And, I just heard that Germany wants to pass something now that you can only have one sausage a month.
It's just one sausage a month.
You can have your one sausage.
You've exceeded your quota into the Shabbos. I mean, yeah. Well, that goes back to climate change is the fear.
Mm-hmm.
You need to be austere.
You know what's shocking to me is like they've actually brainwashed a lot of the young people into thinking that this is really something scary. Like they're actually scared of climate change.
They're like, any day now, everything's going to die. Yeah. We're all going to die.
I mean, like the climate has been changing for 200 million years.
Because we know that 200 million years. How do you come up with that number? But that's another story. But you know who's a perfect like poster child for that is.
Dare you?
Have you? I know. Well, she's a poster child for sure. You're talking
Greta.
Greta, she's like totally drunk on the Kool-Aid. But you know who in the United States is AOC.
Oh God.
Have you ever heard her?
Yeah.
And she'll be like, climate change is like World War II. And it's like, well, how's that? Well, like if we only have like 10 more years. It's like, how do you know that we only have 10 more years as a species?
It's interesting how they've been saying that same kind of thing, though, for like... Yeah. I mean, I've been kind of hearing this story my whole life.
Well, yeah. And then, you know what was so funny is, do you remember when An Inconvenient Truth came out?
Mm-hmm.
And I went and saw Al Gore, because I sold copiers back then.
Mm-hmm.
And I went and saw Al Gore. And our we sold a copy or two, like where the film festival was, so I got to go for free. And this was in 2007, and he has like this graph, and he's like, here's carbon, and then here's our carbon now. And he like, and it goes like
Shot
to the
straight up.
top of the theater. It's like, and then everyone's like terrified. And he goes, so this is 2007. He's like, by 2013, no more polar ice caps. And I'm like, well, dude, it's 2025. And like, I saw a polar bear just the other day. He's cool.
I heard there's actually a lot more polar bears now than there were years ago.
And there's like more ice.
Right.
So I don't know who to believe, but it sounds like this is a power trip to me.
It's funny how everybody seems to forget that. Like, he was the one that was talking about global warming. Remember, global warming was going to be the big threat?
Yes.
But then, I don't know. I think it was
then we had some cold temperatures, and they're like, no, it's climate change.
Yeah, it was about maybe 5 or 6, 7, 8 years ago. They had to change it to climate change.
Yeah, because people were going, well, we just had the coldest year on record, so how's it global warming? And they're, no, you don't understand. No, it's just change.
It's just change. Sometimes it gets really warm, and sometimes it gets really cold, and it's just
that's
so
called
scary.
Climate. That's what it is. That's called summer and winter. But no,
we're going to call it climate change.
I know.
And scare you.
And we're taking the word of Al Gore, who, this is what I heard, he cruises around with a refrigerator full of blood.
Ew, you talked about that before.
And I think he drinks it.
Is he like a vampire?
I think so. Ew. And he's like, it keeps me young. And it's like, well, dude, why are you still caring about trying to look young? He's like 80. You know what I'm saying? Probably.
I think like all of that blood, that seems like an extra carbon footprint. Don't you think? Like,
maybe he's eliminating. Maybe they're like killing kids for their blood, and then it's like they're eliminating all the carbon that child was going to consume his whole life. So he's helping, but he's kind of like John Kerry, where you go, Al Gore. So carbon's really bad for the planet, right? Yes.
Why are you?
You take private jets all over the place. And, well, I'm an important person, and I have to make sure that I'm here to speak at these events. Well, why don't you, paddle across the Atlantic? Then I'd give you props then.
Why don't you drive your Yugo? Remember those little...
Exactly.
Yeah.
Cruise up in a little Yugo, or, how about, you need to be in Davos in November. Leave now.
Yeah.
And then just paddleboard across the Atlantic.
Yeah.
And then you just hop on a bike and you ride to Davos.
I mean, he could even hitch a ride on, like one of those freight boats.
They're already heading.
They're already heading there. Yeah. That's kind of like carpooling.
Yeah.
So it's like, just get on there and save.
Or we've discussed before, if you're really dedicated to global warming, why don't you just pour gasoline on yourself, push record on your phone, and just go, I love the planet. And I'll be like, dude, at least he's got the courage of his convictions.
Yeah. Leading by example.
So I don't know. I think it's interesting how when you start talking about globalism, climate change kind of pops in there.
It does.
Because it's kind of like the fear that they want us in. So I think it's globalism translates and manifests into social credit score system. Social credit score system is predicated on this idea that you're bad.
Mm-hmm. And how can we get all these people on board? Well, do you know the easiest way to control people is with fear?
That's right.
So if we can scare the hell out of them and
There's
get them on board.
There's only 2 years left.
Yeah.
But wait, you said that back in 2007.
Oh, no, don't think about that.
It's kind of like those guys who, you ever seen these cults where they become convinced that they have decoded the book of Revelation and they know the end is going to be in 2023. It's going to be November 11th at 4:30 p.m. And then 4:31 p.m. on November 11th passes and they go, the Lord gave us a respite. And it's like, well, can you ever be wrong then? I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe you're full of it. But I think that's kind of like the fear that they want us in. So they want us to kind of say, you know what? We do need to have this global central control because we're bad And the earth is going to die.
And we don't know what to do.
Well, I don't know what to do.
We need to follow our, do what our
all I want to do is have a steak and, and go for a drive. It's like, I'm bad.
You are.
I'm so bad. I have a really, really bad social credit score. I was looking at it the other day. I'm like negative 500. Like
at this point, a burger last night?
Yeah. You know what? I did probably. Let's see. What did I eat? What did I eat last night? It was probably not social credit score friendly. I had
steak, a big juicy steak.
I made and my daughter. I made my daughter a steak. No, you know what I had? You had your I made sausage. Homemade bacon, egg, and cheese quesadillas, and they're like, you dirty American.
Yeah.
Because
you should have eaten some crickets.
Bacon is pigs. First of all, you're killing an animal, and then you're using eggs. Eggs are chickens, and they're
dirty.
They're dirty. And then you're using cheese that comes from cows, and they fart.
Wow, you're really bad.
I am bad.
Yeah.
They've taken it so far now that they're starting to try to quantify cow flatulence. And they're like, how much carbon is that putting? It's like,
weren't they talking about putting like some kind of little masks on the poor cows to collect their burps or something?
Yeah, so lame.
I mean, these plans that they come up with are just ridiculous. How does anybody go along with that?
And I heard this one scientist talking about it, and he was like, well, the atmosphere is only comprised of like 0.0004% carbon. So how much is it really making a difference with all the stuff that we're doing? I don't think it's really mattering.
And haven't cows been burping for a really long time?
Seems like it.
Yeah.
And like we had buffalo before they all got killed off. I mean,
they ate them all.
Yeah. Which sucks, but at the same time, I'm sure they were farting. I'm sure buffalo were farting a lot.
Oh my gosh. So how do we stop this? You know what? I think I have an idea.
Tell me.
We just don't agree with it.
That's right.
We just don't comply. We don't agree. And we
outnumber them.
We outnumber them. Yeah. So more people need to wake up and realize that this is what they want. This is the plan. And the way we stop it is we just don't go along with it.
That's all it takes.
We just say no. Remember?
That's all it takes.
Remember it was like the whole drug thing.
No, that's right.
From Nancy Reagan. Just say no. We need to bring that back.
This is your brain on drugs.
Just say no to drugs.
You know what? We should bring that commercial back because remember it would have the guy with the frying pan and he would crack the egg in there and he goes, "This is your brain on drugs." Yeah. We should do that, but we should say, "This is your brain on the Kool-Aid that they're selling." You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, do you think that Trump and Elon are good? This is your brain.
We're going to make some enemies that way.
Well, anyways, so what's going to be our next episode? I think that was a pretty good foyer into globalism. There's probably more to say, but we were going to talk about
more into that next time. But we kind of started talking about Elon. Should we go down that rabbit hole next time?
Yeah, I think so. I think we should just touch on Elon.
Let's talk about
the way what's his girlfriend did.
Oh gosh.
I can't remember her name. Oh no, it was like Saint James or something like that.
She's like his eighth baby mama.
It's like, dude, how many women have you impregnated?
He's trying to repopulate the earth himself. Aren't they telling people not to have kids? And he's got like 13 or something.
You know what I'm noticing is like he must be completely insufferable to hang around with because he goes and he gets with these women. They have a kid, and then she wants nothing to do with him. She's like, "You need to go. Yeah, just fund me.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Just let me have your baby.
Go fund me.
Give me some child support and be on your way."
Yeah, so I think Elon is a good topic. We can uncover him because he's become kind of prominent, and I think it's because he's like desperate to be in the in crowd. So he's like really having his time.
He's having his 15 minutes, and he's Trump's BFF right now. So, or Trump's his BFF, whatever.
Yeah, they seem cozy.
Let's talk about that next time.
All right, Butterfly. Well, it was awesome seeing you again.
It was great to see you, Firefly.
Okay, we'll talk soon.
Bye.